This is the woman cave down here in my garage.
Robin Yoder just can't pull herself away from her studio.
I love being out here. You can tell, can't you?
She always finds one more shard to add. The artist from Chesterfield is cutting into a new hobby, and her talent is shining through.
Anything broken can be pieced back together to something beautiful.
Robin is no stranger to handling the shattered.
I like doing the glass because you are concentrating on what you're doing and everything else just kind of fades away, and that's been meaningful for me, just to come down here and escape.
Her craft parallels her job.
Can I get y'all's attention for a minute?
She is co-founder of the Hawthorne Cancer Center
We're going to have a meeting.
at Johnston Willis Hospital.
There's been some really special, intimate moments that have happened out here over the years.
Where for 30 years, Robin has been serving as clinical social worker.
All my patients mean something to me.
Hawthorne provides survivors emotional and financial support
It's incredibly gratifying.
and love from Robin.
I personally deeply understand the need to have human connection through this experience.
This Cancer Survivors Day gathering is more family reunion.
I wouldn't have known to do that had it not been for Robin's guidance.
Grateful members credit their social worker leading them through the darkness.
Robin is an angel, though. Robin is always my safe spot. You can call her, you can text her.
Survivors trust Robin because, over time, she too has walked the same journey.
And this is a picture of the original x-ray.
When she was an 18-year-old high school senior, Robin was diagnosed with bone cancer.
That is all malignant tumor that came out.
The diagnoses ruined her chances at a Division I scholarship.
As a teenage kid, I didn't understand how I could be running on a basketball court one week and then the next week fighting for my life.
In 1980, there were no support groups, but Robin made a full recovery until 2010.
Again, just like that, everything changed.
Her cancer returned, this time much worse.
I was diagnosed, and 3 weeks later, my leg was amputated.
The loss of her right leg was devastating.
There's just a lot of conflicting emotions, but I knew that this was the beginning of my new life.
Fitted with a prosthetic and filled with self-doubt, the triathlete needed to take her first step all over again.
Not literally, but sometimes literally, fall down once, get up twice kind of thing, and keep trying.
The woman with a burning desire to compete was not deterred.
This is the 1996 Olympic torch that I was a torchbearer through Richmond.
To flourish, this trained professional needed to show her own vulnerability.
In that moment, I realized, all the people that I've helped, now I have to let help me.
The road to recovery has been challenging.
I've made peace with that leg. I do miss it, but I've made peace with it.
Her disability is fueling her competitiveness.
And I didn't go through this journey to not feel this. This makes me feel alive.
Recently, the married mother of one rode herself into the record books twice.
I've set 2 world records. One was in 2018, and one was just recently, May 1st.
You're not going to stop her.
Husband Wayne draws inspiration from his wife's determination.
I mean, if she's going to do something, she's going to do it. One way or another, she's going to get it done. I mean, you're not going to tell her no.
World records and torch runs aside, Robin says her greatest passion, inspiring others.
So if that gives that person struggling just a little more motivation to take that next step or to keep their feet shuffling forward, then this has been worth it.
From athlete to artist,
You can easily get lost and forget about your woes of the day.
Robin Yoder is carving quite a legacy,
I've got these cool, funky fish that are evolving.
helping people reconstruct their lives, including her own.
You can make something beautiful out of broken pieces if you just stick with it and look at it differently. It's all about the way you view something.
Hi,
you can have a seat anywhere you like.
A lunchtime rush at Tio Pablo, near the 17th Street Farmers Market,
Just 2 tacos? All right, sounds good. And anything to drink?
reminiscent of pre-pandemic time.
And are you ready to order?
A good sign to Mariana Noriega. She's worked here for 6 years and says the weekend supper crowd is another level.
Oh, there's so many people here. It gets a little bit hectic.
Just a few blocks away, though. Bad signs near Shockoe Bottom. 2 fatal shootings in the early morning hours, 2 weekends in a row.
I feel so bad to hear that, you know? You go out and you don't expect like your family member not to come back.
2-week-old police tape near Crane Street, where police say 24-year-old Devonta McLaurin was shot and killed on June 20th. Then, just 7 days later, a bullet hole in this apartment door where police found a man shot on 20th Street. He was pronounced dead on scene. In both cases, police and family members tell us the shootings happened in the early morning hours as groups of people were leaving nearby clubs.
It all feels like a family here. Like we're all so close.
Spates of violence occur near Tio Pablo every now and then, and Noriega says their team takes steps to look out for each other.
When we leave, we have a buddy with us, like a coworker that leaves with us, or we all go together.
Still, she says it's just a precaution because she feels safe at most times of the day in Shockoe Bottom.
It sucks because this is a good neighborhood. Well, it's a nice neighborhood. A lot of people live here and come by. There's a lot of businesses, so it kind of affects us all in some sort of way. And are you ready to order?
You get little pockets like this that just scare me.
Defoliating in the green room, a Zen act for Christopher Haney.
The leaf doesn't need to be there, then it goes away. It makes me happy.
The co-founder of Happy Trees Agricultural Supply, working here with locally sourced tomato plants.
These ones with this potato leaf pattern are a pink brandy wine.
Minus the tomato seeds. This setup serves as a display for how to grow marijuana at home. But even after simple possession of cannabis becomes legal in Virginia July 1st, you will not find it here.
No marijuana will be grown here until the Cannabis Control Authority releases strict regulations and we get a license.
Under Virginia's legalization laws, home cultivation of 4 marijuana plants will be allowed as long as they're labeled out of sight and out of reach from kids.
Business has been doubling month over month, and we have a lot of people excited to get into this sector.
Happy Tree's other co-founder, Josiah Ickes, says they've been flooded with customers and questions.
There was this elderly couple, and they actually came in, and all they did, they dropped a newspaper down that said marijuana legalization on it, and then they just stared at me. And it was kind of like, it was really interesting because it was like they didn't know what to do next. And that's how a lot of people in the Commonwealth are.
A key component is that selling marijuana seeds will still be illegal July 1st, as will transporting them across state lines. Users must gift less than an ounce in private, only to someone 21 years or older.
What we don't want in Virginia is people who think they're doing the right thing to inadvertently break the law and get in trouble for it.
Happy Trees is happy to teach techniques and sell equipment.
It's going to look nice.
But that's where, for now, their marijuana business ends.
It's incumbent on us as responsible adults, now that cannabis is legal in Virginia, to follow the rules. I've never been much of a rule follower, but a lot of us have been waiting for this for a long time, so we're not going to mess it up.
Been doing it for years.
Along Chamberlain Ave in Lakeside.
It won't work good.
Not a clubhouse or caddy in sight.
Work good.
But to Pete Brooks, his backyard oasis
No cut in there.
might as well be Pebble Beach or Pinehurst. Pete's playing days are far behind him.
Cut the ball. They cut the ball all the way around here.
But the 78-year-old never really left the sport.
Yeah, right here.
He spends his days knee-deep in dimples.
I come out here, green golf ball.
Boxes and boxes of used balls.
Old ball, you see how it cut you.
Pete is finding a little green
The ball is here.
in what golfers lose.
Good ball.
Refurbishing and reselling from Top Flight
Tidy.
to Titleist.
Tidy ball. Doing good, yeah.
Prices range from a dime to $1.
When we met him 8 years ago, he was selling them, and he's still selling them today.
Rich Walden says Pete's part-time job gives his friend full-time purpose.
Mr. Pete's empty shed where all the golf balls used to be. He had boxes and boxes of them, and recently, before the pandemic, he sold them.
At Pa's Dogs and Ma's Burgers, They sell more than breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We're slinging Mr. Pete's golf balls. 18 for 20 bucks.
Pete's golf balls are as popular as the daily special.
And you'd be surprised how many people show up that are golfers that know Mr. Pete.
The restaurant
Thank you, sugar.
is also a chip shot from where Pete's life nearly ended. 60 years ago, an 18-year-old Pete was strolling along Brook Road.
Mr. Pete was hit by a car, actually 2 cars that I understand, when he was 18 years old walking to work.
Pete would spend 7 months in the hospital. The crash leaving him with lifelong scars on the inside and out. His destination that day? Lakeside Park Club, a golf course where Pete toiled on and off as greenskeeper for more than 30 years.
The golf course sort of gave him a job and gave him his life, and that's all he ever knows. He took care of that golf course until the day he retired.
Yep, let's go, Big Daddy.
Yeah, I miss him like my shadow on a sunny day.
Former colleague, Lindsey Cooper Jr.
My friendship with Pete, it's like a brotherhood.
Pete can't stay away from the course for too long. When his collection of lost balls runs low,
I'm glad you're doing okay, though.
Yeah, yeah.
he can always depend on a call from friends at LPC
We got old Pete over here.
to replenish his supply.
What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple. You need help loading them up?
He was coming to get his golf balls. Pete loves selling some golf balls in there. And just about every ball looked like a brand new ball once he get cleaning them.
He may no longer play, but Pete is still in the game.
Okay, you be safe, okay?
Okay.
I'll talk to you.
Taking a swing at a side hustle where Pete Brooks's work ethic is never under par.
Yeah, I want to buy a golf ball.
It means the world to him. It really does. It's a little extra income.
But on side here.
And he likes to see people enjoy getting a deal on some good balls.